Adam to King Charles III. Why genealogies are important. As I've shown elsewhere, it's possible to produce a genealogy from Adam to King Charles III. You can in fact produce genealogies dating from Adam for the royal houses of England, Scotland, Wales and Ireland. You can find charts of all these genealogies in downloadable PDF form on the Useful Charts page of the website. In the Middle Ages, every royal house in Europe had such family trees. But when the age of rationalism dawned, they were deemed to be just fanciful creations, and they gradually died out. My point here is that they actually served a useful function, because they placed all history in the context of Adam and Eve and their fall from the Garden of Eden. History itself stemmed from that point. I worked out that there are only 88 generations in the family tree from Adam to King Charles III. Evolutionists believe that the world is billions of years old and that the universe is even more billions of years old. This is despite the fact that even if it was trillions of years old, that would still not be enough time for anything to evolve by random trial and error. For a fundamentalist such as myself, the world is only a few thousand years old, and the Bible explicitly tells us that Adam and Eve were created at the beginning of creation. The royal genealogies are useful historical markers and give us milestones to mark the march of history. They also demonstrate how God has raised up peoples and placed them in geographical areas, which we know as countries. One of Satan's strategies is to destroy the concept of independent sovereign countries and remove the borders which God has created. This is directly in opposition to God's word. Proverbs chapter 22 verse 28. Remove not the ancient landmark which thy fathers have set. On God's calendar, there are 6,000 years of human history, followed by the 1,000-year millennial period. We are very near the end of 6,000 years since Adam, although God does not count the years exactly as we do. However, the fact that 88 generations have passed since Adam should remind us that not much time is left. There were only 10 generations up until the flood, which came 1,656 biblical years after Adam. That leaves 78 generations from the flood up until now. There can't be many generations left until the Lord returns. It's true that the Bible tells us not to give heed to endless genealogies, but it's also true that there are a lot of genealogies in the Bible. What this means for us is that as far as salvation is concerned, our human lineage is not important. All we need to know is that God is our Father in heaven. Having said that, it does seem that our nationality is important in some way. People in the Bible are often known by the place that they come from. The disciples who witnessed the ascension were called men of Galilee by the two men who stood by them in white apparel. It's also clear from the Bible that nations have eternal significance. When John has his vision of the New Jerusalem, the nations still exist. Revelation chapter 21 verse 23 to 24. And the city had no need of the sun, neither of the moon, to shine in it, for the glory of God did lighten it, and the Lamb is the light thereof. And the nations of them which are saved shall walk in the light of it, and the kings of the earth do bring their glory and honour it. So nations and genealogies are important to our identity, and most of us feel that in some way. Obviously, I am a Christian first before anything else, and I am a citizen of heaven before I am a citizen of the United Kingdom. However, God wrote history. He knows the beginning and the end, and it is all important in helping us understand his ways. So thank you for listening. If you found this video interesting, you can find more information at prophecy-workshop.com.